The grand total for the 3 online boyfriends is $266,510.50.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grimm. This 74-year-old woman has 3 online boyfriends at the same time, and sadly, all 3 of them are scamming her. Keep watching to see just how much she sent to them. It's kind of depressing to hear, and I really cannot believe that someone could be this gullible. Without further ado, though, let's meet this woman and see what she thinks of her relationships.
Well, I started out with Jeff, and I talked to him, and he was supposed to come home, and I got aggravated because, you know, then James come along and started asking me.
You know, it happens to the best of us. You see, simply this lady is explaining how she fell into having 3 e-boyfriends all at the same time, because we are all out here giving our life savings to people we have never met online, right? Totally normal. There's really no excuse for this woman. I know that she is probably lonely and using this as a way to feel wanted and like she is in these extravagant long distance relationships, but at her age and with the amount of people in her life telling her how wrong this is, she should have been able to believe her family and friends and escape from this loop of being scammed. I'm sorry, but you can't live 74 years on this earth and not learn enough from your past life experiences to still be able to fall for stuff like this. They're preying on her and she's just going with it since they're giving her this attention. It's just so backwards. I don't understand at all. I hope she can get talked out of this stuff. She is super in debt from this and it's pretty much ruined her life at this point. So we'll see if Dr. Phil can give her some help. Yo guys, before we move on, I've got a little challenge for you that'll take 5 seconds to complete. So here's the deal. You just leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell, and you will get 25 years of amazing luck. Try it, it really works.
According to you, Jeff Coleman is in Egypt, okay?
All right, let's pause real quick because there is so much to digest already. Yes, you are reading that number at the top correctly. Over the years, this woman has gifted this Jeff Coleman guy $223,710.50. Where she had this nearly $250,000 to give him, I do not know. Looks like she is legit refinancing her home at times and taking out loans for this stuff, which is terribly stupid and sad at the same time. The main issue I have with this is how does she actually fall for this? I mean, come on, use your head in the situation. If this Jeff Coleman guy was stuck in Egypt, why would he need you to wire $10,000 to a random woman in Oklahoma? Why isn't that person helping him get home? There are so many red flags. This might as well be a red flag convention, bruh.
In fact, the grand total that you have sent to Jeff is $223,710.50.
Because he's hungry.
Okay, apparently all the money that she has been sending is because of this Jeff guy. You know, he's in a bind and simply needed food. And unless he's eating at Nobu every night ordering omakase, I don't know why he would need $220,000 for food. I know for sure that this woman is aware that this is a scam. She must just not care and be that desperate for a connection, because why else would she partake in this?
Would somebody that really loved you and cared about you allow you to cash in your life and send it to them?
Dr. Phil is not beating around the bush as per usual here, and he is really putting into words for this woman just how insane this whole situation is. If this person really did somehow exist and loved her like he said he did, he would not request that she refinances her home and spends all of her money that she has saved up for her whole life to give him money for food and things like that. I mean, it's so clearly a scam that he's having to yell the most basic logical things at her to get her to realize that right now.
How much was the ticket up to the last time?
$7,000, and that was supposed to get him to come
And he's
home.
not the only one you sent money to.
You know, there's this real weird thing with older people, especially online, that just makes everyone on the internet go, oh, poor lady, she's been finessed out of so much money. But really, I am having less and less sympathy for her the more we watch this. There has been almost nothing to prove that these men are who they say they are. They have not even shown pictures, and she is just willy-nilly sending out over $250,000 to these scammers. I mean, how could you be so dense? I just can't fathom this at all. Age has nothing to do with it. This woman has been given so many chances to stop this, and she hasn't. So clearly, I mean, this money just doesn't matter to her, or she has given up any hope on making good choices with her life and is just further ruining her financial future.
Would have made a nice college fund for your grandkids. I mean, great
Well, it would have paid off my bills.
You know who you actually should feel bad for? Now that I think about it, her kids and their children, who have now had their grandma go off the deep end here and spend all of her and her husband's life savings on these e-boyfriends that she's never met and now has nothing to give them except her debt once she passes. That money could have helped out not only this woman herself, but her family so much that it's almost sickening that she gave it away to these scammers. I mean, I would be super angry if I was these kids.
I just made a quick list of some of the major points here. Jeff, well,
Dude, just about every time Dr. Phil puts up an infographic today, I've had to pause the recording and take a breather because this information just sounds so ridiculous when written down. It's almost comical how bad these scammers are, yet they hit the jackpot with this woman since she's bought all of it and then some. In regards to Jeff not being able to make it back to America, since that's always the story with these scammers, they're just a normal American citizen, but he's ran into some small roadblocks along the way that totally explain why he hasn't been able to come home. He's been taken, owes the government money, and has to just be on the run from some sketchy businessmen for the past 2 years almost. Totally normal stuff. I mean, I get why his story was so believable. It totally doesn't sound like he's in the Bourne Identity or something.
one of the things I thought would certainly be compelling would be if I found who they really were.
That's right, Dr. Phil had his team go out and do some sleuthing to find out who these people really are, and we're about to find out what they were able to dig up. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and guess that she was 0 for 3 with these e-boyfriends, and in fact, all 3 of these people were completely made up, and she has been getting scammed this whole time. If they turn out real, I will sell all of my personal belongings and just give up all hope, because there's no way she's not being scammed, I'm that certain.
That's who you sent a lot of money, right? This is his real name, and he lives here.
So basically, Dr. Phil's team contacted the guy whose pictures were really being used for this Jeff Coleman dude, and needless to say, he's never seen this woman or heard of her before. If anything, he was more mad about the fact that this random scammer chose his pictures to use as a catfish. He even offers to have a conversation with this woman off air with Dr. Phil mediating so that he can get it through her head once and for all, just how fake all of this was. This dude was not real this entire time, and I think deep down she had to have known that. She just didn't want to admit it to herself. Now it's kind of impossible to lie about since it's kind of been proven as fact by Dr. Phil's team right now.
Somebody just went on the internet and stole his picture. He is not in Cairo. He's never been in Cairo.
So yeah, the other 2 guys were being used as fake images too. They all lived in America, I believe, and definitely weren't stuck in foreign countries because of sketchy businessmen or anything. Luckily, all of them were down with talking to her after the show. To prove it even more, they just didn't want their identities to be out there, obviously, and to help her get out of this insane delusion. I think sadly there has already been too much financial damage, but at least now she won't keep sending money to these dudes, hopefully. Who knows though, she might just do it for fun at this point because I think this should have been clear for her at the start.
But I have a very, very important question. Do you believe what I'm telling you?
Yes, I said I would believe you if I came here and you told me.
So now after being shown these files where Dr. Phil showed full conversations they had with the actual real dudes in these pictures, and that sounds like it was the final thing she needed to be proven once and for all how fake this whole relationship stuff has been. I know it's probably heartbreaking for her, but she's been the target of a very basic scam, and unfortunately her not listening to her family and friends caused her to lose over $250,000 to these people. It's a really sad story, but at the same time, people need to be held accountable for their own lives. You just gotta think when you're faced with stuff like this. I mean, use logic. With almost anything, if it's sounding too good to be true, it probably is.
These people are telling you what they're telling you because they love you. He doesn't have to be here today. She doesn't have to be. They don't have to be here today. They came here because they love you and care about you.
So thankfully, Dr. Phil helps out the family a bit here since there has been some obvious tension within the family because of this, and he's just explaining to this woman that they were never against her or not wanting her to be happy or in love throughout this. In fact, that's probably all they want is for her to be happy because they love her, but they know how obvious and blatant of a scam this was, and they were simply trying to help her and save her from spending all this money. So now after she has admitted that she believes Dr. Phil, I really do hope they can begin to patch things up since they lost precious time fighting over this situation for years, and now they can start to move on past it. To help brighten this woman's mood too and prove that it does in fact get better, Dr. Phil even brings back a man that I've done a video on before. He got scammed last year in the same way and is recovering financially, or at least working towards it, and he shares his progress with her. It's kind of boring honestly, so I skipped showing a clip of it, but it's nice that he thought to do that for her since obviously She's very distraught over learning how much money she's just lost. And overall, this was an insane story. I'm not quite sure how she fell for it for this long, like I said, but I guess it's her life, not mine, and I can't quite get into her brain to figure out why she did this stuff. We might never know. Let me know what you guys thought of this video down in the comments below, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out.